So if you're someone like me who spends quite a lot of time at their computer or their desk, maybe you're a web designer, programmer, a graphic designer, video editor or photographer, a photo editor, or you just love to play games a lot, then you definitely know the importance of having a nice, organized, and inspiring desk or workspace. Definitely helps to keep you productive when you have a nice, neat, and kind of aesthetic and organized place to work at. You have all the things you need. Everything is in a place where you need it to be, or remember, it's functional and it looks really good. So if you're also like me, then you know that I probably don't have a lot of money to spend on stuff like this, hence the title of the video. But anyways, I don't have a huge budget for this, so I'm going to be trying to get really good value items, and I'm going to be, showing how it works and giving you my thoughts and opinions on it. Is it worth it, or were certain things that I bought good, or would I recommend you to not buy them or buy them? I'm excited to get started. So this is what my setup looks like at the moment. As you can see, it's pretty boring and uninspiring. There's no space to work on top of my desk, and the cable management is a mess. This is what it looks like at nighttime. It causes a bunch of eye strain because of the fact that I have no ambient light, the only source being that lamp in the corner of my room. Definitely needs some work. So the first thing that I decided to tackle was cleaning my computer. I try to clean my computer every 3 to 4 months, but as you can see, it's super dirty and dusty inside, especially the fans. It took a lot of time and a lot of effort, especially to clean up the CPU fan, but it was totally worth it. I felt great knowing that my computer was finally clean on the inside. Because I had my computer open already, I decided might as well upgrade the storage. So with my boot drive, I went for a M.2 1TB SSD, so my programs and games load really fast, and a 4TB hard drive for my mass storage for photos and videos. Upgrading to the SSD was definitely worth it, so if you're thinking about it, I definitely recommend doing it. One of the first things that I ordered was this Asus monitor screen bar. Honestly, it is a little bit basic, but at only $18, I definitely say it's worth it. The difference between not having a monitor screen bar and having one is honestly huge. I mean, just look at that. It definitely adds a ton of light to your desktop. I also really love the way it mounts on top of your screen. That way you don't take up any physical space on top of your desktop. Sadly, due to the price point, you only have 3 preset color temperature choices available and adjustable brightness, but I definitely think it's worth it for this price. So my next purchase was a classic, the Ikea Accessories Pegboard. It was impossible for me to find the white model in the size I wanted, so I decided to buy the wooden one and spray painted white. In hindsight, I probably should have painted it with a paintbrush instead of spray paint, but it turned out great. From a distance, it looks amazing. There are a few imperfections, but I'm still super happy with how it turned out. I also bought a bunch of other Ikea accessories so I can store some more stuff. This cost me $55 total, and I definitely recommend getting one. Because my current monitor is not VESA mount compatible, I decided to order a monitor stand to help bring it up closer to eye level and to add some storage space on top of my desk. It also has this little cutout so you could put a phone or a tablet there if you want to. There's also a lot of vertical space, enough so that I could put my keyboard and mouse underneath there when I need some more space. Another great feature is the fact that I've got these 2 holes to cleanly route any cables if I need be. It only cost me $20. I also ordered this very generic microphone boom arm. It only cost me $3 and actually works amazingly well. I really love the look of indirect ambient lighting, so I decided to order some cheap RGB strips. It was only $8 for 5 meters and stick them onto the back of my monitor. It definitely took a lot of time and had to be careful folding the strips, but in the end I thought it looked great. I decided to change from red lighting to cyan lighting just because I think white and cyan look so good together. And honestly, this really brings the setup to the next level. So from now on, everything is going to be cyan, white, or black. So this was not part of my plan, but one of my good friends decided to sell me one of his extra monitors for a great price. I also picked up a dual VESA mount arm monitor, that way I could mount my second monitor vertically. The reason why I went with a dual arm setup is because I will be changing my main monitor to one that is VESA mount compatible in the near future. Having that extra monitor was super helpful. It really helps me speed up my workflow because I don't have to switch through tabs. I use it a lot for reference work when I'm doing graphic design or photography. And when video editing, it's super useful for me because I can move all my other panels that I don't need onto the left side and keep the main monitor for just my preview and timeline. It's also great to have for just daily tasks, stuff you don't want to forget about. Maybe you're having conversation with someone, a to-do list, maybe your email. That way it's there and you always see it and you don't forget about it. In total, the monitor and the VESA arm mount cost me only $84. So the final touch to my setup was this custom made mousepad. I couldn't find a mousepad with a color scheme I liked, so I made my own and got it printed for only $11, and oh my god, does it look amazing. I just love the way the color looks and works with my setup. It's so goddamn good. I love it so much. So that concludes it. Honestly, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was great, especially since I didn't spend too much. And honestly, to be fair, I really didn't plan too much. I kind of knew what things I wanted. Like the pegboard was a thing I definitely wanted. That monitor light bar. I kind of just approached my setup and thought of like, all right, I have this problem. How do I fix it, or what do I get to kind of fix that problem? And I think if you take a methodical approach like this and keep in mind you know, color schemes and kind of the aesthetic, try to match aesthetic, then I think you'll turn out with something that looks great. So definitely one of my favorite purchases was the mouse pad. I would say the second monitor is the best you could do, but the mouse pad is one of my favorites simply because of the fact that I think it really adds that nice kind of like finishing touch and really brings the setup to the next level as well. When you got a custom mouse pad that kind of fits with the aesthetic of your setup or your workspace, definitely recommend trying to match something like that. I really love it, and for the price it's actually a really great quality. I'm surprised, you know, $11. Wow. For one of the things that I would kind of not really recommend, I would say, is the monitor stand. Honestly, a lot of monitors now are VESA mount compatible. If you're unfortunate like me, I managed to get my monitor on the sale, so that's why it was like, you know, oh well, you know. Yeah, if I had a VESA mount compatible monitor, I would not get the monitor stand. That doesn't mean it's a bad item. I definitely think it's really nice because of the fact you got that vertical storage space. You can move your keyboard and mouse there. You got the two holes for the cable. That's actually a really nice feature. And the little inserts so you can put your phone and stuff like that, actually really well thought out. But yeah, if I could, I don't regret the purchase, but if I were to start over again, I would probably maybe not do that and just wait for the monitor. Anyways, in total I spent just under $200, $195 US. Honestly, pretty good, I have to say. For that amount of money, I really transformed this setup. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Honestly, I could have probably gone a little bit lower. The biggest cost was the monitor, and the second biggest cost was the Scatis pegboard, but that's because it's Ikea, and Ikea is pretty expensive here. You know, I know in other places Ikea seems cheap, but like I said, I couldn't find it for normal market price or retail price because it's like such a high demand item that I had to buy the wooden one, and even the wooden model was still marked up a little bit. I think it was probably like $10 or $15 more. So yeah, that's a shame, but you know, you gotta deal with it. So one of the greatest value things, honestly, I think was this monitor boom arm. Holy cow, man, $3, and it's amazing for the price. That is, obviously it's not the most intricate or the highest quality microphone boom arm, but it was $3 freaking. Really can't complain about that. I'm genuinely surprised by how good it is. So one of the things that I would spend a little bit more money on is the monitor screen bar. It's great, don't get me wrong. For $18 it does the job just fine, but it lacks a little bit of adjustability in terms of brightness and the color temperature. Like I said in the video, you've only got 3 preset color temperatures. You got a warm, a white, and a mix of warm and white. The way the monitor bar works is it has a set of orange lights, white lights, and then when you want a warm white, it just puts both on, and the brightness is dimmable, but it's not super controlled. It is pretty bright, but at the same time it really lacks that fine-tuning ability. I also wish it was a little bit wider because my monitor is 32 inches and the screen bar is probably, looking at it now, probably around like 25-27 inches. It'd be good for a monitor that size. So yeah, I would recommend getting something longer if you got a big monitor, because it just doesn't look too clean having it not be the same size as the monitor. But you know, I'm not complaining, honestly, it's great. But yeah, if I were to do it again, I'd probably spend a little bit more money on something that's a little bit bigger and a little bit more fine-tuning. So yeah, that concludes the video. It was great. I loved making it. It took a little bit of time. I think entire thing since I started maybe a month and a half ago. So yeah, definitely a fun but a little bit of a long process. I would definitely recommend not rushing something like this. Take your time. Your ideas might change, so you know, maybe you get the monitor stand or a pegboard and your ideas like, okay, suddenly I kind of want to go for a different aesthetic, or my other things that I want to buy don't really match or fit with it. So yeah, definitely take it slow, think about it, and don't rush it, because then you might buy stuff that you're really gonna regret. So yeah, guys, let me know if you liked the video. Comment down below what your favorite item was. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at daniel.sofa. There's a link in the description. That's where I post a lot of my photography stuff. You know, I just do YouTube videos and photography, so I'd appreciate it if you guys show me some love there. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.